Esco03. That's my right hand, guys, just so you know. Guys on Facebook, how are you guys going? How are you guys doing? I keep saying going. Freddie BAEZ, your favorite lender here with Jose Jaramillo, one of my main guys, one of my main go-tos. We're going to be chatting a little bit about opportunities in real estate, right? Whether you are ready to make them now or you want to go ahead and make some moves in the future. As you already know, I have some history in the real estate side, and I am a lender at this point. So not only can I guide you to Jose, right, or to anyone else that can kind of link things up, we can also help you with the financing. So, Jose, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Very excited about this podcast that we're doing, and also because we're able to do it live on Instagram and on Facebook at the same time.
That's good. Correct. So let's go ahead and on Facebook, what's your Facebook, your Instagram handle, so we can have them come on there as well?
Jose G. Jaramillo 85.
Perfect. All right, guys. I'm F BAEZ 324, right? I don't actually look for myself very often on Instagram, but shout out to Mel. Shout out to Mal Cody as well. Thank you for coming on and working out for me. Thank you for tuning in. So make sure that you guys ask absolutely any questions while we're live, and we're going to go ahead and address those particular questions for you guys while we're here. If the show's over, continue asking those questions or inbox us. We'll be more than happy to help you out with providing you with that value. Yeah. Okay. So Jose, how's your week been, man?
Very busy, man. Very busy. Running around with a lot of things. You know, I'm always adding tasks to my notebook. I have that issue. I just like to keep overloading myself with work, and I just, I do one thing and then I come up with like 5 other things, and then the time just passed by, and then I'm like going crazy.
That's good. That's definitely something you can do because you're in the right world. You're in the investing world. So I think you have. Even though we work hard, we work really hard, right? I think there's that freedom of movement, right? The freedom of saying, I'm going to get up and go to lunch, and I don't have to wait for someone to necessarily come back, which I'm not hating on, all right? That's good. That might not be great for me, might be great for Jose, but the point is that everyone can be an investor at one point, and if you position yourself correctly, then you can be well off in several years. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't have to, if you want to invest, you obviously do what is best for you, what you feel comfortable with. Everybody has different goals. So, for example, I'm building a portfolio that is going to have X amount of houses or properties. There is other people out there that they may be okay with just 2 or 3 or maybe just 1, so it's going to be up to you. Whatever you want to do is possible, and that's what you go out there and do.
Exactly. Quick shout out to Elizabeth. Quick shout out to everyone that's in the Instagram chat as well. And just so you guys know, even though I'm looking this way, I'm always looking to my right to make sure that I'm answering any questions that you guys may have. So feel free to ask any questions through the process. Jose, Instagram, you can also see those questions coming up, right?
Yeah, I can see it, and you're right, man. Anybody that has a question, please ask, because it will make the show better. We can turn this into a Q&A. Any questions that you have about real estate?
Perfect. So let me ask you something, Jose, because I have my idea and the way that I like to explain it. But what would you say is the reason why? Well, I don't know. I don't consider myself a millennial, but I'm like borderline. I'm like there. Probably one of the older millennials, right? But for our millennial friends that obviously they're right now moving in the workforce, why should they consider learning about this now instead of later?
Because right now is opportunity. Why are you going to wait for tomorrow or for 3 or 30 days or 6 months when you can do it right now? We live in a world right now of abundance with information. The information is right there. You have it right on your cell phone. You have it on your computer. All you have to do is go to the internet and start learning. And things like this, what we're doing right now, you and I, this episode that is going to be on YouTube, is going to be on Facebook, is going to be on Instagram. They just have access to the information right now. So why waiting for later? Why are you going to wait when you can do things right now? You don't know what's going to happen later. So I believe that you just have to take action and just do it right now.
100% with you. One of the things that I like to tell a lot of the clients, Because I have clients that come and say, "Hey, Freddie, thanks for helping me out with the mortgage, and we got the house, and you guys are great, right?" But then they say, "Freddie, what's next, right? Am I supposed to live that life of 30 years in the same house? And what am I supposed to do? Just save every dollar that comes my way? What's my next move?" And just for clarity, I'm not a financial advisor by any means, right? But I have a lot of experience in real estate. And one of the things that I always encourage my clients to know is, hey, listen, what you're getting yourself into, this asset, like I said in my earlier video, you're going to be able to hedge against one of your children getting into student loan debt, for example, in the future, because you might be able to refinance your house and say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pay for your university, right? We're talking about legacy. And the reason I'm so passionate about legacy, and I'm sorry, I feel like this is going to be a longer show than expected because I'm already feeling the flow of like ranting, okay? But my parents sacrificed a hell of a lot to give me the opportunities that I got today. And I feel that I'm responsible for doing everything that I possibly can do today so that my daughter can have better opportunities tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? So that's like super important. If I can make better moves today so that my daughter doesn't have to be indebted, so that then she can be a CEO, she can be a doctor, she can be whatever she decides to do. She's not going to be hindered by saying I have to take this other job because I currently have $70,000 in student loan debt. I mean, I have an 8-year-old. So I don't know if community college by that time is going to be $70,000. You know what I mean? The way that the prices are going up every single year, it's only going to get worse, right? So I'm definitely passionate about it, as you could tell. This is something
Good,
that,
man, good.
It's part of it. So
speak that up.
Yeah, we got to make that happen. So priority wise for you, let me ask you this. When you first started getting yourself into investing, what was your frame of thought and how did you do your first property?
My first property, I did it. I purchased the property from the tax deed auction, and the first thing that I did before that was getting a ton of information about how the tax deed worked, and I just learned. I study a lot. I figured out a way to know how the system work, and then the law regarding to the tax deed, because the tax deed, they can be a little tricky. There is a lot of things that involve the transaction, especially the after, once you buy, what happens after that. So I familiarized myself with everything, and then I went ahead and found the money with a couple of friends. It was actually 3 of us, and put the money together, and then we bought the first property for about $40,000. It was an apartment in Homestead, and then we fixed it up. We spent a little bit of money, like $5,000, and then we put it for sale, and then we sold it. Actually, we didn't hold that property, but my first move was learning. Then my second move was taking action, and then from that point, it was just a series of actions. Like I needed to find a way to buy the next one, and then how can I buy the third property, and then I started learning more. Like other ways to acquire real estate, not just by tax deed auctions, but also loans and mortgages and so on. So first thing, learn information.
So learning and information crucial. I think our whole life is that way, right? Because in the beginning, when you try to go ahead and walk for the first time, everyone falls. And then they analyze that they fell and they say, man, that didn't feel too good when I fell. So let me learn a little bit more about how this walking thing stuff, and let me go ahead and try, right? So when they get it, is because they know how to do it. So learning is crucial. Hence the reason why me and you always say, ask the question. Ask the question.
Yeah, ask questions, find information, and don't be afraid of failing, man. Like that's something that is part of me. For example, I really don't give a fuck about failing. I really don't care, because I know it's part of the process. So a lot of people out there, they they hold themselves of taking the next move or actually doing something because they're afraid of what's going to happen. So regardless of what happens, good or bad, if it's good, then excellent, you learn, and it's good, you got good results, and then you repeat, do it again. If it's bad, then whatever, you suck it up, you see what happens, why you did it wrong, and then you find a way to do it better. And again, you just have to keep taking action, because if you hold yourself of doing things because you're afraid, eventually you're not going to do anything, and it's going to be 5 days, 10 days, 30 days, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, and then you're going to be like, oh, I wish I would have done this 5 years ago or 10 years ago, whenever it was opportunity. Just try it out, whatever. If you want to buy your first home, or you want to buy because you want to invest, or whatever the heck, you just have to take action.
Exactly. Getting into the moves, right?
Right.
Excellent. So you mentioned earlier about different products that they're out there. I'm going to give you one that is more recent than anything. I think last time we spoke was a couple of days ago, and I've been making calls on this because there's actually a 1-to-1 program that's been out now a little bit. I needed to learn more about it because I wanted to be sure, but 1-to-1 program, meaning that you can purchase a property as long as the rent is what the mortgage will be. Now, before, a lot of people used to say, hey, rental property, as long as it has the rental income, you're good. But it was at 75%. Now it's straight line, no income verification. You're literally going to get the asset. If it rents for $2,000 and the mortgage equates for $2,000, that's all that I need to know.
Wow, that sounds pretty good. Is this new? Because I didn't know about this.
Yeah, so before we were at 75, right? And we wanted to have a little bit of info. Give me a quick second, because I got to give Lori a quick shout out, which, by the way, I reached out to you yesterday and I reached out to you today because she's probably the best home warranty rep that I know in all of Florida, literally the whole state. And that's because I don't practice outside of the state. So she's amazing at what she does. I'm going to bring her on. You'll probably be on with me so that we can go ahead and just ask her some questions of the value of that. But I'm going to come back to that loan product because that loan product is insane, right?
Yeah, I'm going to write it down, man, because I want to hear about that.
All right. So loan product, 1-to-1 mortgage. The mortgage can be the same as the rental. At that point, I need no income verification. I need absolutely no reserves when it comes to that. I do need 25% down on the property. Okay. So an investment property, like any other investment property, is going to require that. You get what I'm saying?
What about the rate? Are we talking about?
It's an investment rate. It's not hard money loan.
Okay.
We are talking about secondary, non-QM product, right? So it's not going to be a 3.99 like Fannie and Freddie are talking about right now, right? Or FHA. But it's going to get it's lucrative enough in which I don't know why people aren't jumping on it. And I'm thinking right now that it's because a lot of the public doesn't know yet. Because I myself, I'm in the business every day. And I didn't get this notice till maybe a week and a half ago from a reliable source. Hard money lenders have been doing it for a long time. Other secondary non-QM banks that are flaky have done it, but I don't trust them. I'm talking about now credible banks that I've cloned multiple loans with are now using this product.
I didn't know about it. That's exciting.
You look like a little kid in a candy shop right now.
Yeah, man, because anytime that there is something out there, any tool that you can use to just keep investing and buying more properties, I'm all down for that. And it's good to know about these products that you can just use, and you have them there ready for whenever you need them.
Exactly. Listen, everyone on Instagram, everyone on Facebook, any questions, please ask them below in the comments. We're literally stocking the comments right now, making sure that we're answering absolutely any questions. Apart from that, share. Reason being is there might be someone not asking that question at their house, right? And they might be missing out on an opportunity that might put them in a wealth building position for their family, for their child, so that they can avoid everything else coming forward. So please share whenever you have the opportunity to do so. And as I can see, Jose is trying his best to align his camera the correct way for the fourth time at this point. You know what I mean? All right, guys. So All right, so I told you about a particular loan program that I think is super solid. Let's talk a little bit about the ARMs that you were mentioning, right? We spoke
Right.
about that product, and I told you we'll chat about it, and I'll give you the layman's term piece of it. So 2005, 2006, 2007, ARMs were pretty popular. And the reason why ARMs were popular is because generally they would be at a lower rate starting off, right? And what an ARM is an adjustable rate mortgage. We're talking about something that's going to be the same for a certain amount of time. Then it's going to go ahead and adjust. And then it's going to adjust per certain amount of time, every certain amount of time. The most important piece right here is the first 3 months, 5 months, 7 months, 10 months, right? Because these are called like hybrid ARMs, okay? When you look at a hybrid ARM and it's a 5/1, for the first 5 years, you're going to have a fixed rate. And then after that, every year, the rate is going to adjust based on a particular index, a LIBOR, or anything, another particular index. That's going to be going into in depth right now for you guys. But the first 5 years is going to stay fixed. The reason why ARMs are loved by jumbo buyers, people that want that $1 million home, right? Individual buyers that are savvy, is because they know that statistically speaking, everybody refinances their house from 5 to 7 years inside the property. So if you're someone that's working on your budget and you're breaking everything down, if you can get a better rate at an adjustable rate mortgage, that's going to save you $100 a month, $50 a month, whatever the number may be, and you can put that towards your debt on a credit card that's at 20% and pay off that debt, it's a smarter financial decision because you're going to refinance within 5, 6, 7 years. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So once you're
getting ready for later.
You're getting ready for later. At that point, 5 years in, you're refining, you're cashing out. Or you're refining and you're going into the fixed world. Now, this might not be perfect for everybody because some people like, they like to have a number set for the rest of their life. And they're that family that they had a house given to by their grandfather, and now their son is buying a house, and that's just the way that they do their thing. And I completely respect that. But the adjustable rate mortgages are not evil. Okay? When the market fell and those rates on those adjustable rate mortgages skyrocketed at 13, 14%, and it blew everyone out of the water, it was mainly because of the market falling. Okay? Right. It wasn't because they can't wait until they go ahead and they just put up the rate so they make money. Bill Benson, which is a friend of mine, he's also a loan officer. He got an adjustable rate mortgage. I believe it was sometime in 2007, 2008. His 5-year was at about a 6% or 7%, right? When it adjusted, if you think about it, 5 years after 2007, 2008, you're talking about 2012, 2013. That's the bottom of the market. Where we're talking about 3% rates. Guess what happened to his adjustable rate? It went from a 6 point something or 7% to a 3%.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, all of a sudden, an adjustable rate mortgage is the best. Because if he would have got a 30-year fixed, he would have been there. He would have to refinance to then have that conversation instead of it adjusting, right? So I've been trying to get my clients into the habit of understanding that real estate is cyclical. But cyclical in the way that it goes up, it comes down through corrections. So we have a healthy real estate market. But what happened in 2008, that's the second worst economic situation we've ever been in the last 200 years.
Yeah, and let me throw something out there that is probably going to be hard for a lot of people to hear. A lot of people that was buying homes, they weren't even ready to afford the homes that they were buying. So It's insane. People was buying homes that were 400, 500,000, and they really realistically they could not afford those homes. So that's also part of the problem. They were buying things that were unrealistic for them to afford.
Excellent. Thank you for Lori. I appreciate you sharing the video. It means a lot. We need to get in touch. Send me an email or I sent you one so we can get you on the show. Okay. Correct. So 2006, 2007, 2008, people are making up W-2s to get a loan done. Right. And that's why a lot of people went to jail, because a lot of people that were making $10 an hour, but were buying $500,000 homes thinking that they would flip them for $600 and make $100,000. But guess what? The market fell. Now they're stuck with a $500,000 house. That monthly payment of $4,000 at $10 an hour, mathematically speaking, I don't know if there's even enough money there to make it, even if you don't eat, you don't do absolutely anything else with your life.
No.
You get what I'm saying? So when we talk about that world, that's not going to happen again. We are right now, if you get a loan, it's because your income has been verified. That game is not being played anymore. Are we going to see a correction in certain price points? Yes. We've been on a 10-year up. It's been 10 years that the market has been going up at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So correction is coming soon. At any point. We don't know when, but it will come.
But I'll tell you what, in South Florida, it's not going to be at a $200,000 price point, because those houses don't exist. If you were, no matter the economy that you're in, if you have a $200,000 house that you're going to sell, it's going to sell. Not going to happen. It's not going to sit on the market for 6 months. It's going to sell. You get what I'm saying? So the correction is not going to affect the 200,000. I don't even think it'll affect the 300,000. I think 350 and up is when we're feeling here in South Florida. I think that we're talking about West Central Florida with my Tampa people. You are going to be seeing something around 275, 300, which would be my idea. I need to read up a little bit more on what the market is doing up there, but that's what I'm feeling. That's the way that I'm looking at it. So when it comes to these products, you have to make sure that you're aligning yourself with individuals that are going to give you the best recommendation, that are going to go ahead and tell you, hey, listen, this is a better product for you. I do 15-year ARMs very often. Go ahead.
No, sorry to interrupt you. I was going to ask you, so who do you think, based on your experience, is the best candidate for a 5-year ARM or an adjustable loan?
5-year ARMs, I honestly think if you have control of your finances and you understand the benefit, you're probably a good candidate for it. Right. The reason being is that if you do not understand that you are saving $60 a month, then you're not using the benefit of it, right? If you're going to use those $60 to buy more Starbucks coffee, then don't do that. I mean, just go ahead and use the fixed route and just send a little bit more money when you can. But if one of your credit card payments is $25 a month and you could start sending $60 now in the long term, you're paying less interest. You get what I'm saying? Right. And that in itself is a better financial decision. And you, like, again, I have to disclose, because CFPB and all this other stuff going on in the world today, you can't even give people advice without somebody wanting to sue you. Me and Jose are not financial advisors. You can speak to your financial advisors about this. You can speak to anyone else in your world that has license to speak about finances. I'm just telling you what it is from where I see it, from the way that I see the finance world, the mortgage world. Shout out to my mom and to my other mom. They actually dropped a comment. I didn't peep that, but love you guys very much. Okay, so the whole point is that you want to be educated throughout this process, and if you are going to use the ARM, to make sure that you are then using that difference to make a difference in your finances, because there is a risk after those 5 years. You are going to adjust, right? And if that adjustment is up and you haven't prepared yourself for a refi that's going to go ahead and give you a better rate, better terms, and got some debt out the way in those 5 years, then it doesn't make much sense at that point. At that point, stay with a 30-year fix. Know that's going to be your monthly payment. Do everything else that you need to do to get yourself in the right position.
Got it. That's right. Anybody, any questions? We'll be happy to answer. I would love to turn this into a Q&A.
Yeah, questions. Any questions you guys may have, let us know, and we will answer. All right. So we spoke about ARMs. We spoke about the investment opportunities that you see out there. where would you say are the best opportunities right now in the state of Florida?
In the state of Florida, if we're gonna talk about investing,
Yeah.
right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, investments, not
Um,
primary, but investments.
okay. Port St. Lucie, West Palm Beach, anywhere where you can get about $100,000 per door. You know, right now I'm actually trying to really, really focus on properties that are cheaper than what I've been getting, 100,000 and below. It is possible. There are properties like that out there. If you can find something that is, I don't know, $75,000, for example, you put a little money, you fix it, you you spend around 100K, let's say 110, you rent it out. Usually these properties in certain neighbors, you can actually get the 1-1 rule, which is if you invest $1, you get $1 in return with the rent. So let's say 100,000, then you can rent it for 1,000. And really trying to get properties like that. I'm working to find properties like that because in the long term, they're a good investment. You can also buy these properties with a hard money loan if you don't have the cash, whatever. And I think you offer products like that. And then you can refinance later on. Once you have a tenant in place, you're collecting rent, you refinance, you can probably catch out a little bit of money and then repeat the process again. So West Palm Beach, I know there are some good deals there. I have seen them. I actually have properties in West Palm Beach. Port St. Lucie for sure, Sarasota, Tampa has good deals. Orlando, I have heard said there are some good deals out there. And
Awesome.
Homestead too. There are some good properties in Homestead. A
So
lot of people is not paying attention to Homestead because they said it's far, but I think Homestead is gonna turn into something really good in the future.
well, let me tell you this. A lot of people say Homestead is far now, but they used to say Sunrise was far.
True.
And now Sunrise,
Yeah,
people live in Sunrise and work in Miami-Dade.
exactly.
People used to say Boca Raton was a different world. People live in Boca Raton and work in Hollandale. That's 95. That's just going up and down 95, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We're in the world right now in which a 45-minute drive is nothing. I mean, I
Yeah,
myself, I
man.
live in West Pembroke. And I mean, I drive down to Miami-Dade all the time, and it's a 40-minute
Ex-
drive, but I'm like this.
exactly. Because we're gonna keep growing. You know, the population is gonna keep growing. More people is gonna move to Miami, and you know, people are gonna have families and they're gonna have kids, and then we're just gonna keep increasing in numbers. In history, that's how it's been happening since humans are alive. Let me tell you something else. There is no more land available where we are right now in Miami. And yeah, I know there is going to be some people out there that is going to say, yeah, but I saw a lot in whatever in the corner of Miami Gardens
Yeah,
in
not gonna
whatever
happen.
street. But no, there is no land. There is no land available right now. So if you can have a house, this is my theory. A house is better than an apartment because a house you're also owning the lot. And if you put the same lot on a different place and you try to build an apartment complex there, you're going to get X amount of apartments out of that same lot. But if you only have a house, then you have a property that is going to be high demand in the future. And that's why single family homes are so demand right now, especially anything that is between 200,000 and 300,000 in Miami, even 350 or 380, I would say up to 400,000, like Westchester, Color Bay, whatever. They are high demanded because there is no land available. So there is no space to build more houses in Miami. So Homestead will grow because there is a little bit of space left there. There is still houses. There is actually a lot of new construction there. And eventually the demand is going to move to Homestead. Homestead is going to grow. There are going to be more malls. There's going to be more new construction, places to go to work, whatever. And people is going to move to Homestead. And then eventually Homestead is going to turn expensive, just like
Yeah,
Miami.
it's the same thing. Supply and demand. The supply is
Yeah,
low. There's demand, and that means that those things that did not have that high of a demand now are taking the overflow of the demand where there is no supply. It's business
exactly.
101. So you can choose to sit back and not jump in, and then be upset 10 years from now when you're living in an apartment and there's nothing that you can do about it. Or you can ask the questions now. I don't care if you have a 500 credit score. We've had clients that were at 500. We get them over to a 620, a 680. They get into their home, and now we're having conversations about their second property with Jose, for example, of it being an investment.
Yeah, that's right.
You get what I'm saying? So you guys got to jump on that. Guys got to jump on that opportunity for sure. So next show that we're going to go ahead and do, let's talk a little bit about the topics that you want to go ahead and cover. That way they can see. This is going to be, you know how when there's telenovelas, right? El sábado, mañana, no el sábado no. El jueves a las 9, entonces María encuentra a Juan y Juan con Verónica. Toda esa vaina. Vamos a hablar de los temas que vamos a querer allá the next day. So what do you want to chat about next time? That way they know what they're going to tune in for.
Well, I think we should keep touching the different type of loans opportunities that are out there, because I know there is a ton of products, and just like that product that you shared with us today, I even have no idea about that. I feel like we need to keep learning about the different tools that are out there to acquire real estate. I know before we said that we were going to touch the jumbo loans subject, so I would love to talk about that and explain to everybody what a jumbo loan is. You know, there's a lot of people out there that they have heard about FHA loans and they don't know what an FHA loan is, and then they ask, but that's probably the most common subject out there. But there are other type of loans too, that if you don't apply for an FHA loan, maybe you can probably be approved for a different type of loan. I don't know, you can correct me, that's your part. But I would love to touch different type of loans.
You're completely right. Right now, I have 3 clients that were told by another lender, you can't get approved. Their agent sends them to me, and I'm getting their approval done. Not the traditional way, but with creative financing that they understand as business people is the better move for them than to pay $24,000 in rent the next year that you're never going to see back.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about jumbo loans, and maybe let's touch this other product that works with your bank statements, because there is a lot of people out there that they don't qualify the conventional way, and maybe they can they can get approved with bank statements, right?
Exactly. Right. That's one of the products. So, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. We ran a little bit over our time, and that's what we love to do. It's in style right now. It's trending. This is Freddie BAEZ, your favorite lender. And Jose, you want to say bye to the people?
Hey, well, thank you everybody for watching, and we expect you to join us the next time. Super excited that we were able to do this through Instagram Live and Facebook Live, and we're just going to keep doing it and bring you value. So thank you for watching.
Awesome. You guys have a good one. Thank you on Instagram as well. Bye-bye.